Day zero of trying to find a niche market for my novel, Oblivion. After the Second World War ended, the West had to rebuild, and rebuild they did by expropriating South America, the Middle East, and Asia, but there wasn't enough resources to go around, and so this led to massive issues within the West, and conflicts were rising, and in many areas there was possible cause of a civil war. In some areas within the West, united under the gaze of they're the ones that brought this mess into our territory, and that's what was constantly happening throughout the West after the after the end of World War II. And in the 70s, the New York Post released a report, and within this report it exposed what already some knew, that the supernatural community exists, demons, vampires, a lot, and this was the unifying force among humans. Now they had an external force to blame. Now everything was slowly snowballing into a bigger conflict, World War III, because the supernatural community was seen as demonic, less than a scourge, heathens by humans, and everything was just snowballing and kind of rushing into that World War conflict, mostly because many of the supernatural community constantly existed, not only in Europe, but all over the globe. And to stop this, Sheldon Arms stepped in. Sheldon Arms, the organization that were protectors of Africa, and were the reason why the West could not exploit Africa for over 150 years. And they tried to stop this conflict from happening, because three world wars within a span of under 100 years is just going to be a problem. Especially with extraterrestrials now being able to visit Earth, another world war would just look bad on the record. So that's why they interjected. And during this time, the West could now influence Africa, unlike they couldn't for over 150 years, and influence they did. One of these influence led to an attempted coup, in which 35 regions attempted to become standalone states, so that the West could have all their resources. Now, when this happened, now this caused a zero war. The zero war is basically named or coined that because there was no fatalities during that whole conflict. After the zero war happened, negotiations were ended, and World War III was avoided, along with the end of the coups. Now, many other things happened because of the West influence, and so future head of arms Sheila took it upon herself to create initiatives. So if something like the World War III happened and the organizations can't fully focus on prevention of harm from happening, as it's their constant mandate, they would have counters, basically plans, and one of those plans or counters for such actions is 12A. They are a hand-selected group of individuals that, if something were to happen, they can send them out as standalone agents to crush such actions from happening, basically stopping any action from happening at the source. Yeah, so that's the cause of the creation of 12A. And if this interests you, the novel is available for a test drive on Roll Road, first 3 chapters, free, as well as added bits of stories. And for the full book, the link is in the bio for the full book.